Visit ccgcastle.com and get 5% discount on your purchase with TCG Center 5 code. Check video description or visit CCG Castle for more.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Pokemon TCG Center. In this video we'll be looking at Ludicolo deck featuring Magcargo. Interesting deck list, also built on the budget. So yeah, I mean, I really like to play those rogue decks just because it's a very special feeling when you manage to win against top tier decks. So what is really special about Ludicolo? Definitely that ability that allows us to draw a card once during our turn before we attack. And that's very strong just because with Magcargo on the bench, we can just put one of the cards on top of our deck, and then we can simply draw one of those cards with Swing Dance. Circular Steps attack is also powerful. I mean, at the first look, it don't look that strong, but it definitely is. So for one water energy and double course energy, we can just hit for 70 plus 10 more for each different Pokemon in play, and it will count also our and our opponent Pokemons in play. So this Pokemon can easily swing for 200 plus damage counters, I'm telling you that. Even if you can't hit for 200 in a single turn, you can always double hit knock out your opponent, and with 140 HP it's not gonna be easy for our opponent to knock Ludicolo out anyways. So there's also a couple other Pokemons on this deck list as well. For example, one Deoxys with the Psychic, just because he can use advantage of that double course energy attack. There's also Tapu Koko for the fly flip and a free retreat in case if we decide to play Guzma. Double Magcargo with a smooth over ability that allows us to search once per turn our deck for any card and put it on the top deck, which we can simply then draw with Swing Dance. And also two Sableye with Escalate ability that says that once per turn we can look at the top card of our deck and we can discard that card if we want. So this is a very good card in my opinion, especially for Magcargo deck. In case if we don't have Magcargo on the bench, we can always, you know, look at the top deck card and decide if we want to draw it or discard it with our Ludicolo. Also, the Sable attack is very powerful in my opinion, because it can counter our opponent active Pokemons. For example, that Buzzwole, if Buzzwole managed to if Buzzwole wants to attack with his first attack, it won't be able to do that because we can simply disable him and then he can't attack, you know, which is just insane. And then we can just buy some time to set those Ludicolos in play, which is just insane. In my opinion, this is very interesting and funny deck that can be played in a standard format. So yeah, moving on from the left to the right, two Sableye, two of each Slugma and Magcargo, then one of each Tapu Koko and Deoxys, running 4-2-4 line of Ludicolo, and that's it for the Pokemon lineup. There is 12 energies in this deck, so 4 double course energies and 8 regular water energy cards. The reason why I'm running so many water energies is just because I'm running 2 Crasher Wakes, and in case if I have 2 water energies in my hand, I can easily discard them and search my deck for any 2 cards and put them into my hand. I think this is very interesting way to set those Ludicolos in play, so this is the reason why I'm running also 2 Crashing Wakes. There's also 2 Aqua Patches, so we can accelerate Ludicolo with in single turn, which is very important. For setup, I'm running 3 copies of Nazball and 4 copies of Ultra Ball, so more than enough setup resources. There's also 1 Pal Pad, which allowed me to refresh my Guzmas from discard pile back into my deck. 4 copies of Rare Candies, you know, so I can simply skip Evolution Chamber from Lotad to Ludicolo without going from Lotad to Lombre and then to Ludicolo. 1 copy of Rescue Stretcher, 4 copies of Ultra Ball, I mentioned it earlier, and in addition to those cards, I'm also running 3 copies of Choice Band for extra damage that can be applied to my opponent EX or GX Pokemons. 8 Drop Supporters, 2 Copycats, 2 Cynthias, and 4 Tate and Lisa, with 2 copies of Guzma. And that's the deck list that I'm going to use in today's video. I hope you guys are going to enjoy watching this video. Make sure to hit the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more videos. Let me also know in the comments below what you think about this interesting deck idea as well. So let's do some game tests so you can see how this deck works in action. So see you in the game. Alright, so starting first, always welcome. Let's see at the opening hand, what type of the opening hand I can get. A decent opening hand, I should say. A decent opening hand. It could be even worse, but it's okay. At least I have that nest ball available, so I can use it as advantage for my Lotad. Energy will be attached, and more than that, I think I'm gonna go with the Guzma turn 1. Oh, so Sableye will be good here just to prevent my opponent from using that magical ribbon, but so far I don't have it. My opponent already managed to bring himself a Sylveon in play, so it's gonna be very difficult to play against Sylveon. It's a very powerful attacker with 110 damage, fair wind attack. It also has that magical ribbon ability. Well, I don't want to let my opponent to take that prize card early in the game, so I'm just gonna go with retreat on the Deoxys. Well, Guzma double course energy can let my opponent knock my oh, he decided to go with the Gladion instead. That's interesting. Because if he just decided to grab that double course energy Guzma play, it would be much easier for him. Well, there is a double course energy, but I don't know why he just didn't decide to go for the knockout. Well, anyways, there's a plenty of different Pokemons in play, meaning that Ludicolo can swing for more and more damage with that circular step. So far for 70, 80, 90, 110, 20, 30, 40, 50. I think 140, 150, depend if he count himself as well. So my turn. Oh, what a nice top deck, but no sign of the water energies in my hand. So let's go with the swing dance and hope for the something. Oh, Cynthia, nice. And double course energy. Oh, pretty cool. Let's see, Escalade. Nope. Very nice top deck. Amazing top deck. So, looking forward to apply some pressure with the Psychic. Not bad. 80, right? So for the next turn I have 2 options available. The first one is to retreat. The second one is to refresh my hand and grab 5 new cards. There is another Fairy Energy for another Sylveon. No sign of him. Alright. I guess the biggest problem for me can be that Play GX attack where I can just lose my Ludicolo and Lotad from the bench. But my opponent just decided to keep digging for more and more cards with that magical ribbon. At the end this might be a huge problem and also a mistake for him. I'm not sure why he needs so many cards in his hand. I just don't know why, but it's okay. 1 Copycat can simply bring me in a pretty comfortable position. And what is going to be the top deck? The top deck is going to be double course energy, meaning that I can simply start to applying some pressure to my opponent. I can also swing dance one more time for another double course energy. In this scenario, I'm going to switch without discarding double course energy and use my circular steps for nothing less but 170. So 70, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10 different Pokemons. That's 170. That's a very huge amount of damage. Well, there's an enhanced hammer, so I'm gonna lose my special energy from Ludicolo. Luckily, I have another one available in my hand. And what's here? So, Infernape. Put 6 damage counters instead of 2 of them to your opponent benched Pokemon between turns. Burned opponent Pokemon in play. Okay, so there's a switch for Tapu Koko. There's a Sophocles. Alright, so obviously with Salazzle he can do the magic. Double course energy to the Eevee. Oh, interesting. So I'm gonna escalate a top deck card into my discard pile. I'm going to put another Sableye on the bench. And then I'm going to switch my Ludicolo to my another Ludicolo. And then I'm going to play another Escalate. Well, I'm gonna keep energy actually, just in case if I can find that Crasher Wave or whatever his name is. So Swing Dance for another energy card. Choice Band. Okay, I can attach Choice Band as well. So, circular steps. 170. There we go. Another double course energy for me. Wishy-washy. With his powerful ability, my opponent can simply scoop him back into his hand. There's another Tapu Koko and another Sophocles. So he's still trying to find that Salazzle. If he can do that, then he can definitely puts me in a pretty uncomfortable position. Well, there is a Nazball. It might be for another Eevee or maybe another Celadent. Okay, so he decided to do just this. Okay. So meanwhile, I can attach energy and I can escalate to see what's going to be the top deck card. I don't need Lotad, so I'm just going to discard him. Let's escalate one more time. We don't need Slugma in this case. We can recycle those cards just with the Rescue Stretcher. So let's go with some extra draw support. Swing Dance 2 times. Alright, circular steps. 180 this time. So 2 more prize cards to take. Alright, obviously my opponent can easily return in this game, especially with something like Play GX and Burn. So hopefully that is not gonna happen, because if that happens, I'm gonna need a couple turns to set up. And I'm just wondering, where is my opponent's Salazzle? I can't see him so far. So retreat to Wishy-Washy. Okay, it looks like that's gonna be it. I have another Ludicolo on the bench. I also have Ultra Ball. Obviously I'm gonna get rid of as many cards as I can. Then I'm gonna use a couple Escalades. I'm not gonna need Ultra Ball. I'm not gonna need... Oh, actually Copycat will be a nice card to get. Swing Dance for Copycat. Okay, another circular step, and I think that the game unfortunately is over at this moment, so there's another Choice Band. It was not the best entertainment game in the world, but at least this deck shows his real strength and potential. With Sableye, you can control what you're gonna top deck. With Ludicolo, you can simply draw one card, and with Magcargo, you can set yourself one card that you need at the top of your deck. So there's the judge for my opponent, meaning that I'm gonna go down to 4 cards, but it doesn't matter too much because he didn't have another Sylveon in play. And that's unfortunately GG. So there is actually a rescue stretcher, so finally he can bring himself a Sylveon GX and use that variant, or maybe play GX if he wants. Play GX wouldn't be that bad, to be honest, so he can scoop my Deoxys. No, he decided to go with a magical ribbon instead of it. Alright. Another magical ribbon. No damage, so I didn't take a single damage in this game. Very confusing game for me. I don't know why my opponent just decided to do that. I mean, technically, if he can finally set that Salazzle in play next turn with the burn, he can maybe do crazy things, but I'm definitely gonna try to get my okay, I'm going to discard this Aqua Patch. I'm going to keep my escape rope. So swing dance number 1. Swing dance number 2. I think I actually have more than enough damage here. Just in case. Energy for Sableye. And circular steps. Yeah, it is more than enough. I didn't want to count, but it's exactly 200. And that's the GG. So very, very strange game, to be honest. I don't know what was that. My opponent was just searching his deck for some cards with the magical ribbon. I just use advantage of doing that, and I just apply as much pressure as I can with my circular step Ludicolo for the game. So that's the GG.